see a chat if it comes up on that Facebook thing. Last week we did have chatters? Yeah, we had a live chat with a person watching. Oh, do you hear that buzzing? No, you don't? Okay, cool. Then it's just me. Did you hear buzzing?
No.
All right, cool.
Oh, good.
Then it's just me.
Did you hear me? Yep, I'm good.
Yeah, I can hear you. All right, we're ready to go. We got Beaver back. We got the Kevin back. We're the Holy Trinity of Dutch Hallness in the hall tonight. No big deal. But yeah, we did have a live chat last week on the show. And I know it probably is not going to happen now, but I'll tell you what the live chat was about. It was about my calves. It was Laura Collins. She had said, Pete, are you wearing your underwear? That's what she said first. Then she goes, I like your calves.
You wearing underpants?
No, I was wearing shorts.
I mean, she was looking at your groin.
She said that she imagined me with big fat calves, but she said I actually have very nice calves.
She was looking for the bump.
Yeah.
The big. You think so? She's looking at it?
Guarantee.
Being a pecker checker.
Yeah, that's a good word for it.
Well, I want to know that when we do these live streams, I know most of our audience is just listening to the audio podcast, but when we do these live streams, you get to see my calves, eh? And there's women that are watching live streams and just getting all steamed up about my calves. This week, if there's any women out there with foot fetishes, I'm doing this show barefoot, eh? Barefoot. Which is gross to a lot of people.
In this day and age, that's a big deal, though. They want it. There's fetishes all over the place.
Ooh, maybe this is going to be the highest rated show than we've ever had because Pete's Tootsies are on YouTube.
Kind of all I can look at right now.
Mm-hmm.
You've been doing calf raises?
I have nice calves. Just ask Laura. And look at these toes. Eh?
Oh,
Those are nice. I got all 10.
You got all 10?
Yeah.
for now.
For now.
You ever heard of a person losing a toe in some sort of agricultural incident?
I have fingers.
Fingers are never toes, right?
Never toes.
No.
You crush a toe, but you don't lose it usually.
You ever wear a steel toe boot
No.
on the farm ever?
Ever. Never. I wear Sanooks.
Yeah. This is what we did on the farm for real. We would, when our church shoes weren't nice enough anymore, we'd wear our church shoes into the field.
Yeah, they graduate to you nice shit graduated to work shit.
Yeah.
And there was a point in time though where there was a merger in there where you had to duel it up, you know?
Yeah.
And then you'd get ridiculed because it's like and you come in from the field and you're like, I'm sorry, I don't got time to shine the shoes, you know?
Yeah, yeah. What I remember, I always wore leather shoes for work. I still kind of do. And I can see people when they go to the hardware store and stuff like that. You see people come in with their, like, old leather shoes, and you're like, I get it.
Yeah.
You're the same as me. You just use your old shoes.
I was always bad, though, because I would never give up on it, because you once you get a good pair, like, fuck, you ain't finding them again. Nope. So then I'd have holes in them, and then the socks would get wet, and I just wouldn't let them go, right? Where some people, they look at them the wrong way and they get a new pair of shoes these days.
No, I had a pair of church shoes that were so comfortable that there was a cobbler still in Simcoe. He just had a little tiny little.
You brought him to a cobbler?
You got twice. I got new soles put on them.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
That's how dedicated you were to these shoes.
They're comfortable leather shoes, and they fit perfect. So I just kept getting new soles. And the cobbler was like $15.
That's not bad at all. You can't even justify.
Yeah, that guy went out of business. He didn't have any sense of what money was anymore.
I think he was probably a really good cobbler.
Charging enough.
No, he's like
horrible businessman.
Well, like he's a cobbler, right? He might as well be a candlestick maker. You know, there's no fucking need. There's no cobblers. No one cobbles anymore. You know,
he's doing it for the love of the shoe. He didn't care about the money.
He's old school. When you built shoes to last. Now there's planned obsolescence. You buy a pair of shoes that are fucking only good for a few years.
Imagine that job. Like, you just get this fucking monster dude rolls in, and he's got a pair of shoes that should have been thrown out years ago. And
smell like Doritos.
They smell like fucking ass.
Are you talking about me right now?
And then he's like, you know what?
The Dorito part.
For $15, I'll spend 4 hours making them good. Like, Jesus.
Or he's back
plus
there.
materials.
back there putting the lipstick on, like in Billy Madison.
Yeah.
Just loving the shoes.
That guy, just smelling my shoe, just sniffing it in like Dennis Hopper from that Cronenberg movie. What is it called? Blue Velvet. Have you ever seen that? He's just when he sucks in the he's like doing ether or something, but he's doing it with my shoe, just sucking in my toe juice smells. You know.
I watch these days like people to authenticate Nikes. You have to. There's a smell check.
Oh,
What?
yeah?
Yeah.
They have to smell.
I watched it. Something's kicking in and out. Anyways, I watched it. They look at just make sure they're Air Jordans or Air Jordans. They fucking literally pulled tongue up on the shoe and go, and oh yeah, that's correct.
How do you cleanse
Smells
your
like
palate?
Like a new pair, like a authentic new pair.
You can still smell the sweatshop in it.
I guess.
Yeah. Well,
6-year-old made these.
what is that? Bangladeshi?
I think
These
someone
are
cut themselves
knockoffs,
making
you know?
these.
We make these in
Smells
China.
a little bit from Vietnam.
Yeah.
I'm
Anyways.
smelling 10-year-old.
Oh,
Oh, my God. We can stop that anytime. I'm going to have to turn whatever that is off. Or I don't even know if I can do it. We might have to listen to these dingings through the whole show.
I like it.
You know what we should do through the dings? Just play that God Damn theme song.
Let's do it.
Nothing? Hey, everybody. This is the Dutch Hall. I am your host. We're just going through. Oh, I found him, Beav.
All right.
We're going to have to get back to this introduction in a minute. We have a serious crisis. I want to fix this.
Technical issues. Describe what's going on here. Describe video.
Oh, cocksucker. There. Don't worry about that one. All right. You guys should have done the intro for me, you know?
All right.
Well, anyways, we're in the Dutch Hall. We're going to get this thing figured out. We're on a Tuesday night, but this is going out on a Thursday as normal. We have the Holy Trinity. There we go. Is that going to work?
It works perfect.
Better?
Better?
Yeah, look at this. Put it right behind me.
No, I don't know if you're going to like that.
That doesn't work. Anyways, this is going to work. It's just we got it now.
Yeah, a little
Anyways,
bit.
guys, ladies and gentlemen, to my immediate left, Derek the Beaver Van Houten, everyone.
Yeah.
To my immediate right, Kevin Long Van Dengen Donger.
Donger.
To the middle, that's me, the host and two-time President's Club Award winner, Pete Van Dyke. Shower it
Basket in.
in. Feels good.
One more screen. Come on.
Yes.
Oh, look at that.
I like to let it just go right out to the end.
Yeah.
This is going to be a nice night. We're going to take it easy. We're going to have a couple of beers. We're going to maybe smoke a cigarette or two. And you know what? We got zero plan. The only thing I really thought about for today's show is the fact that it's cultivating time, right?
It is. It lets flow the dirt.
Yeah, you want to push dirt right now,
Push
right?
dirt, man.
And so there are going to be people listening to this show and they're like going down the rows, pushing dirt, cultivating, right?
Yeah.
But the word cultivating, you say it cultivating?
I say cultivating.
Yeah, cultivating. You ever hear a guy say cultivating?
Yes.
And that's how it's spelled, right?
That's how it's spelled. Every now and then I'll say it.
You say cultivating, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's probably the right way to say it. But nobody says it.
No, we just say cultivating.
We say cultivating. Just like you say kill instead of kiln. If anyone says...
It's actually it's the worst sound ever when someone says kiln.
Yeah.
It's the worst sound ever.
Yeah, because it's not the way you say it. It makes me mad, you know?
Sound off of something.
Yeah, I want to fucking kill you.
Yeah, it's not the kiln yard. We put it in a kiln.
That sounds horrible. Kiln yard.
Yeah.
You know who says kiln? It's people that make pottery. They'll put it in a kiln,
Yes.
right?
Understandable for that context.
Because it's stupid and wrong, right?
Pottery's wrong.
Pottery is stupid and wrong, and so is the kiln. It's kill. Now, creek, that's the one that we say wrong on purpose.
We say crick.
We say crick because crick is way cooler.
Yeah. It just sounds better.
Yeah. You go down to the crick. You do not go to the creek. You go to the crick. And what else do we...
We also say bush, not forest.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. You say bush.
My wife says forest, and it bothers me.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I tell her every time.
Call her a danky. Listen, you.
I'm like that asshole husband that's like, when she says something that bothers me, I'm gonna fucking tell you.
What are you going to do? Put up with it for the next 50 years?
And then one day spring it on her 50 years later.
Right.
You know, I've hated this for 50 years. You call it a forest. It's the bush, you know? You don't call your fucking snaggled up pussy hair a fucking forest, do I?
Yeah, exactly.
I call it a bush.
My wife's clean. So
All right. Well, no, this is in the future, eh?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
She doesn't care.
Future
50
wife.
years in the future, she's
Yeah.
let it go. She's let that thing grow in. Big, like, wire brush, old lady kind of hairs growing out of that. Sorry.
I've never used that analogy, but I'm fucking gonna.
What?
Oh.
I'm gonna.
Yeah. You say, like, maybe you should grow back your forest?
Next time she's being a fucking dick,
Ah.
I'm gonna say, hey, go trim the forest.
You keep yours clean there in the summertime?
Yeah.
You get a little ball stick?
Well,
like,
my wife will tell me right away, like, fuck, clean that shit up.
but in the
up your
summertime,
forest.
man, you got to leave a little barrier of some sort of hair. or
Yeah,
you're
so
gonna
you don't get fucking ball stick.
Yeah, you're going to get like that real, like, silly putty stick. Or, you know, like those things you get in a gumball machine you throw against the wall and it would stick and then eventually the guy would fall down the wall.
Yeah.
You ever see that? It's just like, you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
It's like sticky glue and then it always ends up getting hair on it.
Yeah,
and
it falls on the carpet and it's done.
Yeah, it's gross.
Yeah, you need a barrier.
We used to always, I remember when I was in first year university, we really liked the movie Silence of the Lambs. And we really liked that movie. We thought it was really funny. And I remember carving pumpkins. And we were doing that as like some sort of activity for our lounge or whatever. You know, we carved pumpkins. And I remember taking the pumpkin guts. And then me and my buddy Adrian, when we'd reenact the scene from Silence of the Lambs, where Clarice is going to talk to Hannibal Lecter in the cell, and the guy's like, "Mwah!" And then he throws his jizz at Clarice. Remember?
Yeah, she got barn cat eye.
Yeah. And then was that the same guy that said, "I can smell your cunt"? That one?
I don't honestly remember.
I don't remember.
But we threw so much pumpkin guts on the wall, pretending we were
To reenact the scene.
to reenact the scene. It was all our residence was just like covered in it because we just kept laughing at it, and we also love just saying, like, put the lotion in the basket. What's the lotion? It rubs the lotion on its skin, or it gets the hose again. And then, put the fucking lotion in the basket. And we did that a lot.
Wasn't there a tuck scene in that one too?
Yeah, where he tucks it between his legs and he's like dancing to that, like was it a Roxy Music song or something? And then he's like, "Will you fuck me? All right, fuck me." Right. like that character's like, who even invented that? Like for the movie or book, like you gotta be fucking out of your mind to come up with even somebody that.
Somebody thought it up, right?
Yeah, a real twisted character like that. But like it's so like over the top that it was really funny, right?
That
Like,
voice so good.
here, was she a big fat chick? remember? Because they're like, have you seen this woman? And, oh,
I love the voice.
was she a big fat chick? He wanted he wanted him a little heavier, right? So he could starve them in the pit and then use their skin.
Yeah, you get more skin off a big girl.
Yeah, he's making a skin suit out of her, out of all these girls, eh?
Worked your lotion on.
Yeah, working for Buffalo Bill. He's like, or is it Buffalo Bob or Buffalo Bill?
Buffalo Bill. And I think you should make that your answering on your voicemail. Why not speak my night?
Oh, oh, Buffalo. Would you fuck me? Fuck me. I'd fuck me. Do you remember that movie at all?
Not really.
Message.
Not really.
What did you hear, Clarice?
I remember seeing it, but I don't. It's foggy. I watched so many movies since then.
What did he say to you back there, Clarice? He said, I can smell your cunt.
That probably sounded exactly like it too. That was a good voice change.
That was my Jodie Foster impression, my Clarice impression. He said, I can smell your cunt. It's a different. She was saying it as no, not to give the word weight, hey? She wanted to be just factual about it, eh? Yep. Sir, he said, I can smell your cunt.
No hard K on the cunt.
And then, I don't know why, but the whole movie, I was just howling laughing. It's not supposed to be funny.
Not supposed to be a comedy.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, yeah, I didn't think it was a
No,
comedy.
it's supposed to be it's about a horrible guy who's like abducting and gonna murder this girl, wear a suit of her skin, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't sound like a comedy. But there's so many good parts in it where you're like, this is funny, man. Like Goodfellas too, right?
Oh my God, and Sopranos too. If you ever watch that.
I want a heavy Sopranos kick every now and then.
Oh
Sometimes you watch something that's like it's just brutally horrible,
yeah.
but you're laughing because like there's so much kind of truth in it. Like you kind of reminds you of like obviously you didn't go through it to that extent or whatever,
right.
but it still reminds you of your dad or somebody you know in your life. It's weird how it can be so over the top like that and still be like that's hilarious.
And yet, a lot of it was based on factual stuff.
It's horrible, like the worst stuff, you know? And that's why that stuff's okay. You can make a movie about, you know, about a guy wearing a girl's skin, but you can't, like, just tell a joke about it.
Mm-mm.
Right? Like, that's
That's
like...
offensive.
Yeah, that's
The
offensive.
second they do a movie about it, it's okay, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can show a girl getting raped on a pinball machine and give it an Oscar, right? But you can't...
Now, what was that movie?
The Accused.
Same girl, Jodie Foster, right?
Yeah, Jodie Foster. I watch all her movies. Remember Nell? The movie Nell?
Yes.
That one fucking was great. That was also hilarious, that movie Nell. Have you
I don't remember the movie.
Nell's basically they find Jodie Foster in the bush and she's just crazy. She just let her and she's naked and stuff. And he's got a huge bush and like big waffle tits and stuff. And then or like
points.
nipples or something, like big pancake nipples, you know. It was like not what I expected, right? But then she talked, I'm Neil. Like she's like doesn't. It's like if she was made to teach herself a language, and then I wish we could bring up a clip of Nell.
Probably get pulled though.
No, we'd lose our show. One time we were just watching hockey in the background, and they pulled our episode.
Got a warning.
I know the way you can do it is if you have a good engineer, Kev.
Oh my God.
Is they know how it's 8 seconds. They quickly pull like an 8 second, less than 8 second clip, and as long as it's just less than 8 seconds, then they can pull it.
I forgot to look at the show notes this week.
Yeah, the show notes was minimal because I had no idea what we were going to do. Look at Beaver. He's just on his phone.
Sorry, I was doing business. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay, man. I'm just.
I gotta throw a big quick one here.
It's okay. You can do your business. You're a businessman.
Yeah.
I do actually. I've actually had to work a lot more than I really would like to.
Yeah.
In the last week or so, couple weeks. Yeah, and it's fucking catching up to me, man. I am like my body is old and tired.
How's the payoff though? Good.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. I miss the bubble.
Work is for assholes.
Yeah. I think the bubble's burst on. I don't know if it's burst, but it's definitely we're not at the peak of the craziness anymore with the housing market. And by the end of the year, though, my prediction. Did I do this on the air already? Because I love doing my predictions so when they come true.
Well, let's hear it.
The housing market. It's not really a groundbreaking prediction, but like things are gonna be pretty cheap in a year.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that they have no choice but to raise interest rates, and they're gonna. All these people with these excess properties. Everything's gonna be too expensive for them. They're gonna ditch them, and there's gonna be surplus properties. They've already made these rules that you can't buy. You can't get foreign buyers in the market anymore.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Well, so all these factors, and then they're gonna want to like try to curb inflation. Interest rates going to go way up. It's just going to. It's just going to collapse.
Okay, so you
as artificial as it was, these increases in the housing prices.
Yeah.
There's going to be like the correction, and then when the correction happens, people are going to panic, and it's going to correct more than it should, and so then it'll be a big crash, and there's going to be lots of opportunities to buy at the end of the crash.
Right.
But if you're buying now, I think you're kind of fucked.
So. So you see like a huge correction?
Yeah, I think it's going to be.
I hope it's a huge correction.
Unprecedented, as what I foresee.
So like $1 million house now would be worth what in your opinion?
Ooh, you're going to make me quantify it like that. That's hard.
It should correct itself back to the 600,000 that it should have been. Am I right?
Well, what were you saying? What's it net worth now?
What's $1 million?
Say something that would sell for $1 million
right now.
Yeah, or in the heat of it.
Yeah, it would at least correct to 800 by 20%.
Okay.
I would say there'll be a 20% correction at the very minimum, and it could correct to as much as 50%.
And a lot of people would say that would be then you're talking depression, not recession.
Well, that's just the housing market, and right now also. What's interesting to know is a lot of the people that are buying that, a lot of the people that are driving the prices up in these housing aren't people at all. They're banks and they're like investment funds and stuff trying to buy property because there's nowhere to make money on the markets anymore.
Right.
So now they're like putting it into real estate because real estate seems safe, and then but it's not. It's artificially increased by their bullshit, and then eventually, when interest rates become too high to make that look like a good investment for them, and they realize that the maintenance of all this property is a real thing that they can't keep up on.
Sure.
And then they're going to ditch these properties, or if they see that the market looks like it's crashing, they'll ditch them, and it's going to compound the problem because they're the ones that made it in the first place. Then they're going to make it worse by exiting.
Yeah.
So.
Maybe kids will be able to buy houses after all.
Oh yeah, that's really who it is. Who you do hope it happens for.
But
like
they're going to lose 5 years though.
Who?
The kid, they've lost 3 already.
What?
The buying generation of kids.
No, people that haven't bought yet.
Yeah.
Haven't bought yet, so haven't lost anything. Right.
I just look at it as like that 25 to 28-year-old that could have bought 3 years, could have bought in this time and are now fucked. Well, currently.
Well, hopefully, it's a blessing that they're fucked, is what I'm saying. Because if they weren't fucked, they'd be in the market before it crashes, and that would be worse.
True.
Yeah, if you bought one at like 800 grand, it went up to $1 million. And then
No, I'm sorry. I'm saying that they haven't bought because it's so high.
Yeah, and that's the blessing.
That's the blessing. Yes.
Because if they would be able to get in, like if some bank would say, hey, we can still give you the money even though you can't possibly pay it back, then that would be bad. Or if they buy like at $1 million and then it goes to 500,000, and then they were like they're in an undersecured position, could probably get their house foreclosed on, and it's way worse.
But I was told people like back in like the 70s and 80s and those two crashes, like 74 and 83 kind of thing, that people would go to like their banks and be like, man, I don't know what they called it, but
you're
like,
right off debt.
Yeah, and they're like, I can't pay what you think I'm supposed to pay, and they're like, well, what can you pay? And then they lowered the value. They just wrote it off.
Yeah, that was
Well, can you see that happening?
Writing off debt would only happen
if you did it across the board, right? You can't just do that for certain.
No, you can. You can.
Really?
Yeah.
So, like, if you buy $1 million house and I buy $1 million house, and you go to the bank and be like, I can't do it. I can't do 100,000 a year, and they're like, well, can you do 50? And you're like, yep. So then now it's 50. So now you've now decreased it by. So now it's a $500,000 mortgage, but meanwhile my mortgage stays because I can pay it.
Yeah, that's how it works.
That's like fucking shit luck.
It's still how it works today, but like there's a thing called farm debt mediation. When I worked lending money to farmers, there was a thing called Farm Debt Mediation Board, which I went to many of those farm debt mediation meetings. And at those meetings, that's what you do. You get all your creditors in a room, right? And these are people who haven't been paid in some time.
Like
have not been paid in some time. In a while, it's been a while. They haven't been paid. They're thinking about like selling the guy's property, and then
like, can you define a time period like multiple years?
Usually, yeah, multiple years, yeah, like a lot of times around 3 to 5 years, yeah, of chasing money from them
and getting nothing.
Yeah, and you're not the only one. If you're if you're not getting money, chances are like a lot of other people aren't getting money too.
Or a percentage.
And then when we get to the meeting. It's all the people who are owed money are invited to the meeting. And what you traditionally would do is what you were talking about. You would say, okay, this is what the guy has. This is what he can do. This is what our position is. As the person that holds, as the institution that holds the security, we can sell it, we can pay our debts, and then he'd be left with whatever, Or we make up another arrangement that works, like, so in the 80s, you'd be sitting there with, let's say, this $1 million situation where you bought the farm for $1 million and it's worth $500,000 and you have about 750 of debt on it, right? And the interest rate is now 22.5% or whatever it was.
Back then it was,
yeah. And so your payments are pretty high. You're proving you can't make them. And I can sell your farm now and take a $250,000 loss, right? You're left with nothing. Or I could lower the debt load to say what the farm's worth and see if you can service that, for a year. And then that's made, right? And then if the other guy's out there digging ditches and getting a winter job and doing all this stuff, and that's how they're keeping their payments made, he gets nothing because he's not had to go to this meeting. He's not had a bunch of people incurring legal costs and all that stuff. So traditionally, that's what happened. When I was doing it, the company I was working for, were still trying to make those deals. See, like this guy can't do it. You're not going to get blood from a stone. We're just going to end up like having to sell this shit, or we restructure it to let the guy live a decent life or something. So we would always try to make the concessions, and the banks wouldn't even come at the end. They would just send a lawyer, and the lawyer would say, my client wants everything, what they signed a contract for, and they're giving nothing, right? And so we're like, what are you even doing in the fucking meeting? How are you helping people,
Yeah.
And they're not there to help people. They're there to get their money. And so that's the thing. A bank won't write off debt. Will someone like Farm Credit or something like that, like a government institution, they may write off debt because they have
ability to.
They have a political incentive to do so, where the banks only have a financial incentive to make more money, and unless there's a business case for writing off debt, like we're going to take less of a loss by writing it off than by.
It's only in their best interest.
Yeah, then they're not going to do nothing. I don't see that ever changing. But like a government institution or something, yeah, maybe they would do it again, but not a regular bank. I can't see them. They'd only be doing it with government money if the government said, "We'll back these losses."
You're right.
Yeah.
But can you see the way things are going that losses in general are going to have to be talked about?
Well, you see what they're doing with farming.
Yeah.
They make it part of the programs, and they make you guys just live off subsidies forever. And they don't fix the system that's broke. They just make you
Band-Aid it.
Make you work in an impossible system that you're going to lose money in most of the time if any one thing goes wrong. But these programs make it so that it reduces your risk, and they were set up originally that they were supposed to be for a bad year, but when it's set up that you have to pretty much trigger them every single year because that's what they end up doing. They subsidize cheap food for the regular citizen, and then so the farmers got to still sell for fuck all, and then they get a subsidy to make their living. And what should happen is the farmer raises his price, and then if the citizens can't afford the food, then the government's got to find a way for the citizens to get more money. It shouldn't be. I don't understand why the farmer always has to be the one that gets the same price forever, and then all their costs go up.
Right.
It's like that for everything. You never hear of You hear of inflation for a loaf of bread, but you can still buy wheat for the same price you could buy wheat for,
Fucking 20, 40 years ago.
Yeah.
Corn price been same price for fucking 50 years.
It goes in a range, but it's never been like reflective of whatever inflation's done. It's not at all. It's just still the same fucking corn, Anyway.
They're putting one less slice in a loaf now, and bread companies are getting richer.
Yeah. Like you used to be able to grow a 100-acre farm and you make a living. Now you got to grow a whole 1,000 acres, to make that same living.
I'm on 4 farms.
Yeah, you got to buy the whole road now.
Yeah, the whole road. Yeah.
Yeah, in order to make there used to be like 10 families making a living there. Now it's one family. That's the thing. You always do more for less, and you might get more money overall, but the amount of work you're putting in to get it is like way more.
Like this year,
margins
this year I'm growing more tobacco than when I was a kid. All my uncles and my dad combined grew.
Yeah.
And there was 25 kids.
Really?
Like 25. Cousins. Like that tells you how big the family. Like there was.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah.
Probably the same with your family.
Yeah, imagine. The average...
Back then, you could grow 35, 40 acres. You were sending 3 kids to school, and you had a hired man. Back in the day, you had a hired man and a house on the farm.
For like 40, 50 acres, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 50 acres used to be a big crop. I remember we grew 65, and we thought, man, we're pushing it. And then we got it up to 75 with the same one crew.
That was,
and then it was like that's as much as you could go.
The most I did with my hand was I did 184 with 2 hand gangs.
184 with 2?
Yeah, so it's 92.
Wow.
With a hand gang, one gang, yeah.
Wow, that is really pushing.
And I got it off.
Yeah. That is a lot of work, man. That's a lot to get off 2 crews. Like they got to work their asses off.
They did.
Yeah, that's yeah, I like that though. Pushing it, I don't know. There's something about that I kind of miss. My dad doesn't want it. Does your dad still does he miss farming?
Oh yeah.
Does he do shit?
Yeah, because my dad was forced to not farm because he did it for health reasons. So.
Yeah. Does he help out at your place?
No, not really.
But does he hang out?
Physically, mentally, he can't. It's not.
Oh, yeah.
Not capable, but he would love to.
Yeah. I was.
I dragged it on as long as I could, just because I knew he loved it.
Yeah.
Did he always tell you what you're doing wrong?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like learning how to farm, like taking over the family business was the hardest thing I ever had to do in my life.
Yeah.
By far.
You got to have a certain amount of diplomacy and restraint.
Restraint and diplomacy. Oh, those are the two perfect words. Like it was tough. Like there was some hard conversations, right? When you almost, like when you want to, when you despise your family member because, like your dad, but he's just trying to he's trying to make you the best he can, right?
Yeah. And it's his baby, like his business.
Right.
Like, yeah.
And don't get me wrong. Like I learned the hard way, and I don't regret any part of it. I worked my ass off, but it was well deserved.
Yeah. The thing of it is that no matter how good intentioned you're, and you'll find this even with your own kids, as a parent, no matter how good intention you are, you're gonna
push the.
You're gonna only be able to give advice based on how it was in your time,
right?
You know, and like the time changes, and your advice is like it's dated, you know, because you're basing it on how it was when you were the age that you're.
And don't get me wrong, like the way I see my personality is I would probably do a very similar pass off to the way he did. It sucked because there was no nice way of doing it.
Yeah.
Right?
I guess so. Yeah. A lot of times the right thing happens and it's just ugly.
That's exactly it.
Yeah,
the right thing happened, but it was just ugly. Yeah. Very ugly.
Yeah. I couldn't imagine but
it's all good now.
If my dad had to, if the farm had to go to me or my brother or something like that, I don't really know how that would have really went down, man. Because
there's a lot of scenarios it doesn't work. Where dads never tried because they knew it was going to be catastrophe.
Right.
See, me and my brother had, we both were like, all right, I'm going to go this direction, you go this direction, and we'll meet back up later on. And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah,
my brother still farms, and
he does.
Yeah, he has. He grows ginseng.
Oh yeah.
On the side kind of thing. And but it all ended the way me and him both wanted it to.
Yeah.
Like we've never had an argument once about farming. No. Never once.
Yeah, I think
we've had differences of opinion, but that's it all ended when a decision needed to be made. Me and my brother make it in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
We're like, we should do this. What about that? Okay, let's go that direction.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's cool.
Which is a tough thing for a lot of families, right?
Sure.
And now, for me, it was just me and my brother because my sister had her own thing. When you've got families of, say, 3 boys, or, there's 3 opinions there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know if me or my brother have the temperament to take over a family business.
No, Pete, nobody does. Nobody does, man.
No, but I think we would murder my dad. I think it would come to a real tragic end. I think I would have the better shot between me and my brother to do it. Because my brother and my dad, I think, would kill each other.
Patience-wise, you need a lot of patience.
Yeah, I just don't think they would have the give and take necessary to have a transfer like that happen. Because you got to be sensitive to what the dad's going through,
right?
And then you have to also be able to stand up for yourself and be a man and say, I want to do things my way because it's my farm. You know?
See, what the hardest part is our dad's generation. Their dads just were all right, I'm done farming. Jump on board, right? They were all about it. Our grandfathers, right? Whereas our dads, for some reason, that generation, man, that wasn't the sentence that wasn't the conversation. The conversation was, I got to hold on to it,
I wonder if they thought we were too soft. I bet you when...
thought is the key word.
Yeah, when your dad's dad gave the farm to your dad, he was he can handle it. I've been kicking the fuck out of him since he was
right
6 years old. And then
Where our dads were kicking the fuck out of us, and we're like, yeah, I still don't think he's got it.
Feelings started to creep in, right?
Right. I totally agree with you.
No, well, with me, my dad was like me, and my brother were like it went to my uncle, not my dad, because my uncle could get along with my grandpa, and my dad and my grandpa wouldn't be able to have that relationship and get that transfer. You know, it would.
Right.
My dad wanted to stand on his own 2 feet before my grandpa was willing to give up the farm too. You know.
Oh, see, and this is where, Kev, every situation is a little bit different.
Sure.
Yeah.
Every single one. I could sit here and say my story, and Pete could sit there and say his story, and they're nothing of like they're just so many variables that
my dad,
are unforeseen.
yeah, and my dad never encouraged us to go into it. He always discouraged us from going into farming, which I thought was weird. But I regret it because I still love farming. But I mean,
I can see that based on your beautiful
garden.
my
beautiful garden. I was like last year. I brought my dad some tomato plants, thinking that he could at least grow some tomatoes, get some of that like farming like blood, back bubbling again. And he was like, "No way, I don't want to fucking do that."
What about did you bring him any produce and was like, "I grew this"?
Yeah, he wants to eat the produce, but I don't want to give it to him unless he's willing to do the work.
Right.
No, but was he ever like appreciative of the fact that
of the produce?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, he was. But that's not the point. The point is grow it for yourself because you're a farmer. You should like farming.
Yeah,
right?
I've created this for you. Now you keep it going.
Yeah, but I don't think he liked farm. He didn't like doing the farm work. He liked telling some other person to do the farm work. He just liked.
He's a good supervisor.
Yeah.
Or a supervisor.
If I give him a tomato plant, he's got to weed that. He says, "Just bring me some tomatoes."
Oh, he wants the easy route.
Yeah. Which I don't. I thought I like the weed in my garden.
Yeah,
I like getting in the dirt. It's like ground you.
Well, I always told your brother, we'd always talk about it. My favorite place is sitting in the tractor, just because you're at peace with yourself.
Oh, it's nice. It's nice. Doing land work is the best.
Yeah.
There's nothing better than driving around. It's like cutting grass.
I've made a lot of life decisions in a tractor.
Yeah?
Probably figured out a lot of the world's problems too and forgot about them.
That too.
You get out, fuck.
You ever beat off in your tractor?
Nope.
Never?
Never.
Not yet.
Ooh.
Nope.
I bet you that if
I floated around with my wife when I got real high in a tractor.
Yeah, but you never ever beat off in a tractor, which I think is really commendable, dude.
No, never.
Right. I bet
Especially
you
now even with GPS, never. I just sit there.
A lot of your friends can't make the same claim, not with fucking cell phones and GPS driving tractors. I bet you there's a lot of your buddies that
probably
that are shocked right now.
Yeah,
and they're calling bullshit.
and you know what? They can call. I'm being dead serious.
I believe you. You never. You wouldn't lie.
I believe you 100%. You've never lied on this show.
You'd say it if you did.
Yeah.
You'd be like,
I got nothing to hide.
I watch one of the hubs and crank him out.
Yeah, I bet you Mike has.
It'd be tough. He's got no GPS.
Oh yeah, he's got to have two hands on the wheel.
He's got to have one hand on the throttle, one hand on the wheel.
Yeah, he's got no time for that.
And his arm is ready to fall off after about 6 hours. So he can't because his.
I feel like somebody different though.
I'll be honest with you. When you're driving it compared to GPS, like at the end of the day of driving with your hand on the wheel, like your shoulder is ready to fall off.
Yeah.
And you've got a blistering headache. I still have.
A lot of times you've been bouncing all day, too?
Man, I bought a Advil, a little can of Advil in the fucking tractor because it's like you get just migraines like no other.
Crush them up and snort them.
It's so nice when you go.
They're liquid. So.
When you turn the first dirt,
it's the best feeling ever.
It's great, isn't it?
It's like, and when everything's working, it's like the adjustment period is over. It's like, oh yeah.
Are you that like? Do you get to a point when your baby tobacco plants are like you know how, you plant them and it looks like you can just see like little specks in the field. It's planted, and then they kind of look like they get worse for a while, and then they all of a sudden it just gets like green, where it's like you get this solid green, like the rows are starting to fill in a bit.
Oh yeah, it's the best feeling
and
ever.
Then they're all taken off.
For me, it's like because not right now. You like if the fumigant didn't work, you won't quite know yet.
Oh,
It's like that feeling that, because putting fumigant in is so expensive. Like that feeling of like right around sweeping time. So it's like 2-3 weeks from now. And like if you didn't put fumigant down in a spot, like it'll be fucking half the size of everything else. So
that's amazing.
And we don't know if fumigant's in the ground or not, because we know based on the feeling of the tank, but the tank is solid. Like you can't see in the tank the liquid going down. So it's a guess.
I have a very, very similar story about my garden this year with an egg in a hole.
An egg in the hole.
Have you ever heard of the egg in the hole?
No, wait, a bird plopped an egg in your hole?
No, for tomato plants, apparently, when you're planting them, you stick an egg in the hole. You dig a real deep hole, and you trim off all the leaves right up until the kind of the crown.
Yeah.
And then you dig a hole that's deep enough to go right to there, plus deep enough for an egg. And you drop an egg in the hole. You give it a little. I hit it with my garden shovel just to give it a bit of a crack, and then I put it in the hole, and I put my plant on top of that, and then you bury it. And then what happens, I think, is that the egg.
Is this you just trying this?
No, the internet told me. The internet told me my tomatoes are gonna be way bigger. So my daughter says, "Are you going to put eggs in all the holes?" I'm like, "Yeah, egg in the holes, like better." And then she goes,
"Was this like a Sweet Martha?"
Maybe just try one. She says, like, see if it works. I'm like, no. So I got a test. I got some every second section of every row. I put 2 plants, no egg.
Oh, okay.
So I can see as my test, But the rest of them,
that's a real farmer.
Egg in a
hole. You gotta test it out.
Yeah. And then what's supposed to happen is that the egg will rot in the ground eventually, right? And at the time it rots, that's the time that the plant is fruiting, and then it feeds the.
It's like
fruit.
Free
it's
food.
like probably
free food
phosphorus or something, right?
Yeah. So it'll compost itself up.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Yeah.
You give it a little bit of like fertilizer. That's going to be fertilizer in the future,
right?
Because when it's rotten.
A few eggshells in my tomato plants, but no egg. Didn't know about it.
I never heard of it either.
I've never heard of that.
My mom sent it to me. I'll let you know if it works, because I don't know.
If it does, that would be a real expensive endeavor if I had to put an egg under every plant.
Imagine that.
If you had to put
100 acres.
Yeah, you got to buy a chicken barn. You get a chicken barn.
7,000 plants per acre.
Yeah, but you don't have fruit on your tobacco.
Right.
Oh,
I have a flower. I bloom a flower.
Imagine if it made better.
If you don't sell it, you bust it on the ground. You throw it on the ground
and let it
and curse
rot.
it.
Yeah, and let
Tell
it
it
rot.
to fuck right off. You don't even give that to your wife, that flower, because it's shit. It's ugly.
Yeah, it is ugly. It's the ugliest flower ever.
Actually, I don't mind. It's those little tulips.
They're like a little,
or not like tulips, but you know what I mean.
It's like a little cone.
Yeah, a little cone flower.
It is a cone flower.
Nice tobacco flower. I'd give that to my wife. Who am I lying?
The problem is it withers away so quick.
That is the problem.
Like you could. We should put one. I should break one off, bring it here, and we put it in water.
See
if it acts like a flower. You could keep it for like a week.
Yeah, I'll trim it every day. Trim the bottom off. Put it in fresh water. Whatever I need to do. Let's do it. Bring me one in when you're in topping.
Okay.
Maybe bees will
put a fucking egg under it.
Bees will use it, and then you'll have tobacco flavored honey.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
A little nicotine in it.
Tastes like an old ashtray.
Yeah.
Hey, we did a hypothetical question last week, Beaver.
What'd you do?
Yeah, with Ryan Vandenbush.
Yeah, we wished you were here.
And I wish you were here. So you are here, so I want to do it with you. Okay? You're the last man on Earth.
Oh, yeah, I like this one. I watched that series. That they don't have it anymore on TV.
Oh, I thought it was on Disney.
Is it now? Last Man on Earth?
Yeah. It's on Disney+.
I'm going to watch it again. I hated when they quit that series.
You like that one?
Oh, I loved it. I watched every episode.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
The dude cuts a hole in the diving board and takes a shit for like months. He runs a TP, so he uses the diving board as a shit tank.
What were we saying before that?
Yeah, hypothetical question.
Hypothetical, yeah. Okay,
the last man on Earth.
You and another guy.
Oh,
no! The last 2 to survive, and 2 girls.
Oh yeah.
Twins, right? They look identical in totally identical in every way except for one.
Gorgeous.
And they have the same personality. Like they're even like very similar personality-wise.
But what's the one thing?
And one has no arms. One has no legs. So which one do you choose as your mate for the rest of your life?
No legs.
No legs. Why?
He wants handy.
Ryan said that too.
No, because you can live without legs. You can live without hands too, I guess. I don't know. It's the first thing I thought of, actually.
Ryan said because
I'm thinking sexually.
Sexually, you can't do much with your legs, right?
Well, the legs, you can get them out of the way. Like, if they're there, they're not.
She just jerk you off with her feet. She got no...
Oh, yeah. These days. No, I'm not worried about... I'm not worried... Like, I know initially I'm thinking handies, but...
Maybe
no, I'm
cooking?
just cooking. Like, necessities in life. Wiping her ass.
Oh, that was one of Ryan's
That's
points.
what Ryan said, too. She wipes her ass with her feet.
How?
She's very flexible. She never had arms. Well, unless... Do we determine...
You got to go the old dry... You got to go the old walk it off? Like, no, that's not good.
Yeah, the girl
crusties
the
in
girl
her
with
ass
no
all the time.
legs, she's going to have a real clean ass just from dragging on the ground.
How's she going to shave that thing, though?
Shave what?
Her forest.
No, she's not.
With no legs?
With no arms.
That too. You'd have to do it.
That's okay.
Yeah.
But the initial meat, I would be turned off because it'd just be fucking coming out the...
How about same question, blind or deaf?
Oh, that's easy.
I'd go deaf. I'd take the deaf.
Yeah, me too.
I want her to see. Because then I got to fucking...
How's she going to cook if she can't see?
Well, and how is she going to fucking know where to go? Like...
Blind girl because
in a situation like that, you wouldn't just be the last man on earth and have nothing to deal with. There'd always be situations.
Yeah.
Someone that can see can help you through those situations. A blind person,
You gotta help
they're
them.
along for the ride. You know what I'm saying? You are the only person that is driving this train. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I easily, when you said blind deaf, I'm like, boop, I'll take the deaf.
What would you take, blind or deaf? I'd take deaf. I wouldn't want to hear that shit.
You gonna take deaf?
If I had to choose for myself.
Oh, for
blind or
yourself,
deaf,
I'd
go
take deaf. Oh, I wouldn't want to be blind.
Oh, if what ailment would I take for myself?
Yeah,
I
what'd you
would
take?
choose being deaf.
Yeah. She's complaining. You have to hear it.
Yeah, definitely. Choose being deaf over being blind, but to choose a spouse who's deaf over a spouse who's blind, or like a mate or something.
Because a deaf person can still talk.
Yeah,
always
kind
write-
of.
you can always
But
write
it
it
loses your erection, believe me, when you hear it.
Yeah, you got the old flipper voice. The flipper voice.
Yeah. Luckily, if they're listening to this podcast, they can't be offended.
See,
by
and
our
the thing is, if you're the last person on earth, you wouldn't have to learn sign language because who are you going to learn it from?
You could just draw a picture.
It's like, you know what? Deal with me. I can't understand. We can't. We can only do so much shit here.
Yeah. You could write your instructions down.
I know this.
That's your sign language?
That's my sign
and then
language.
this.
Yeah.
Right when it's over.
Yeah.
Okay, how about this
This,
question?
now fuck off.
Yeah.
If you could go back in time when it
I
was,
really like this question.
if you could go back in time when it was okay to beat your wife,
Oh, to beat your wife? Okay.
yeah, when it was okay to beat your wife, like when it wasn't socially unacceptable to beat your wife,
Yeah.
would you beat your wife?
No, I wouldn't. No, that's an easy one.
That's an easy one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just
I
can't-
would just think it would be really funny if you were like, like really chewing on that one for a minute. Like, yeah, you know
gonna
what?
Give you a backhand?
When in
Pros and
Rome.
cons. Yeah.
When in Rome.
Wait a minute. Do I know better? Wait a second.
Yeah,
Do I know better? Yeah. How far back are we going here?
like Sean Connery.
Sometimes you just gotta smack a bitch.
Yeah, he said you just gotta smack a girl. Like you tell her to be quiet, and she doesn't listen.
I can so see Sean Connery smacking a woman.
You have to smack her.
Sometimes you just gotta smack a bitch.
You just give her a swat in the mouth. Yeah.
You're really good at these voice analogies.
Oh, really? You like
Yeah.
it?
Yep.
Buffalo Bill and Sean Connery. This is my impression of Sean Connery if Sean Connery was asked if he liked pizza. Okay, you ready? Yes.
That's a great impression.
Anybody that doesn't like pizza, fuck, they're missing out. Fuck. I had pizza at lunch today, and I have pizza probably 5-6 times a week.
My dad used to say it was a waste of goddamn good cheese, but he always ate it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like when I'm hungry at 9, 10 o'clock at night, I'll go make a pizza.
Yeah.
Oh, really? I never eat pizza anymore.
I love pizza.
Unless it's like some stupid like cauliflower crust. Some bullshit.
Yeah, like
Can't eat bread, eh?
Yeah, no. You can't. Oh, yeah, you're on the heavy no bread kick still?
Yeah.
Hey, I'll be honest with you. I had one time my wife made pizza out of cauliflower dough, and she didn't tell me. But the second I ate it, she's like, I have to tell you something. I'm like, oh, fuck. What did I just eat?
It's not over,
She's like, I just wanted you to try it out. I don't know if it's cauliflower or rice.
I did a cauliflower one.
And it wasn't too bad.
Yeah,
I'm not going to.
It's the best one of the fake ones.
Yeah, now that I know, I would never pick it.
No.
But unknowingly eat it, it was okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you don't have restriction, why would you?
Yeah.
All I want to eat is melted cheese. That's it.
On anything.
On anything. It's great. Mm-hmm. Give me a big bowl of melted cheese. Oh.
And fry it.
Oh, fried cheese? You know, like where your cheese burns?
Yeah.
And then you, like when you make nachos, and there's that thing, it's like, it's
Crusty.
just a chip of burnt cheese.
So good.
God damn, it's good.
Yeah, I just got thinking about that Last Man on Earth thing again, too. Dressing them.
Dressing what?
The spouse.
With no
If they got no legs, they can still dress themselves. No arms. Kind of tough.
Well, you know, if
You gonna pull drawers up fucking with no arms?
yeah, people that were born with no arms. I tell you that I saw this guy, he spoke at our thing at a meeting we had. And
Wait, how do you take a piss?
the guy does everything with his feet, man. He's so flexible. It doesn't move. He doesn't move like we do because he's always used his.
He's always contorted in weird ways.
He's never had arms, right? So he always has been like brushing his teeth with his feet. He drives with his feet. He does everything with his feet. He just like you just adapt.
I'm just saying, it's easier with a woman with no legs, it's easier to drive for her than, like, because she can't reach pedals.
Yeah.
What if we
You can do hand pedals.
What if we changed it for him so like we did last week, where you could have those those springs for your legs?
Oh yeah, you can put fake spring legs on.
Yeah, like prosthetics.
Like that runner.
Yeah. See, that's easier than finding prosthetic arms, right? Prosthetic arms.
There's no such thing. You're right. No legs. I'm going to legs too. I switched my answer.
I didn't even flinch. You originally were no arms.
Yeah, I like a good pair of legs. You know.
I was all about handies.
Yeah, Kevin just.
Not gonna lie, I would miss them. Right? Because
you miss what legs?
Yeah, I would miss them.
Yeah.
Like, just think about sex. Like, you go to grab your woman's legs to pull her towards you, and there's nothing there. You'd have to grip. You'd have to grip the waist.
If you could only have sex or only have oral sex, one or the other, you got to pick.
I lose.
You do lose, right?
I just lose.
That's too hard to pick.
I can't do it. I can't do it.
Picking your children. That is a tough one.
I can't do it.
Because I can't. I mean, I
love oral, and I couldn't live without my kid.
I put oral in the umbrella of sex, and sex is my favorite thing. But of I don't know.
Which one's better?
Which one's better?
They're just both one.
They're both terrific.
Yes.
They are both terrific.
They
eh?
are.
That's the thing about a girl that would agree to have dirty sex with me is like just the nicest girl.
Right.
Okay?
Now, there's women I've met that are opposed to oral.
What?
Receiving. Like, that's just...
They don't even want to get it?
Yeah, that's a turnoff.
Because their pussy smells.
Must.
That's mostly the number one reason. But the real reason, actually, I have a theory about this, and I brought it up when I used to work at the bank. I tell people all the time my theory, that there's two types of women in this world. ones with internal clitorises and one with external clitorises.
Okay.
This is my theory. And those with external clitorises can come through, can orgasm through regular intercourse, right? Because their clitoris is like on the outside of their vagina,
Yeah.
and when the penis is like going in and out, it's rubbing on that.
Right.
No, that's the internal
That's
one.
the internal one.
External one, it's like on the top, so the penis is going underneath of it.
Right.
And it doesn't
stimulate it.
You don't, so you can't get an orgasm through regular sex. Usually, you got to like do it manually or give her oral or whatever. You know, those girls always will suck your dick because they need oral sex themselves for orgasm, right?
Right.
But those ones that come easy on regular sex, right? They're not going to suck your dick because they don't have to, right? They just want to have the sex, right? And I told this to one girl I was working with, this girl, Erica. And Erica goes,
These are quite the conversations for at a bank.
She goes, I hear what you're saying, and I agree, but I have orgasms during sex, and I'm a cocksucker. That's what she said.
Really?
Yeah. She's hilarious. She's just,
and then you were like, you fall under the dirty girl format.
Yeah, she broke my rule. Because I always thought, like, because I'd have friends of mine who would be like, my wife, she never sucks my dick. And then I'd be like, ugh, like, leave her. You know, like, why are you with her? You know, I'd be like, your wife is like basically a dude to me. Like, now that I know that she doesn't do that, like, I am not attracted to her at all. Because there's no circumstance and no reality where I would ever want to be married to your wife, right? Because it sounds terrible. And he's like, oh, you get used to it. I'm like, no, you don't.
No.
That's something I want to get used to.
I don't want to get used to that.
Those are the people that got to go to the rippers.
Yeah, like, or she'll like give him one on his birthday.
Boo.
You know, like it's just like that. It's that special. He's like, nah.
Boo.
I want to know. I would rather have, like, okay, this is a good question. Would you rather find out that your wife, before you were married, had only slept with, like, say 2 guys, but sucked 100 dicks, or slept with 100 guys and sucked 2 dicks?
Say the first one again.
She's only slept with 2 guys, but she sucked 100 dicks.
I'd say the 2 guys.
Yeah.
That's the easy one.
Because 100 dicks, right?
Yeah, 100 dicks.
I like those girls, too, because they're more likely to be into the oral.
Yeah.
Right.
And then, the Hummer you're getting is going to be way better because she's practiced.
And you don't get as many diseases through your mouth.
Yeah.
Just stop kissing her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would stop kissing her. I would definitely make sure she would gargle.
It was funny. I got a totally sidebar funny story. My brother texted me today. He's like, look what happened to me. Fucking. So, you know, back in the day when it was, when you were probably 16, just got your license. What was the fun, annoying thing you did in the neighborhood that all the neighborhood people hated?
Burnouts?
Or
Like
fucked up mailboxes.
Oh, mailbox baseball.
Yeah, mailbox baseball. Right? Yeah.
Or, like we used to use potato gun.
Oh, potato gun. Those are great. I love potato guns.
Yeah, you could blast somebody's mail right out the back like like confetti. Like, it was like confetti, literally.
You would hit it right in the door? Like in the opening?
We'd just open the door a little, stick the potato gun in.
Oh, right in.
Blow
the back.
Blow the whole back out, right?
That's so good.
Right?
I thought you were shooting at it from a distance,
No,
but you shove it right in there.
Right in there.
Okay.
Fuck, my brother sends me this text. He's like, karma's a bitch. And he shows me a picture of his own mailbox with a hole about the size of a fucking, like, toonie in it. Right? And then a picture of a fucking firework on the ground, like one of those ones you shoot. He's like, motherfuckers got me. They fucking lit a fucking, like, they're getting creative now. They bought fireworks and are lighting the wick and throw them in the mailbox.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then it shot out of his plastic, those green plastic mail.
yeah.
Shot right out the fucking back.
My father-in-law was a grade school principal
Yeah.
in the time of strapping, right?
Oh, shit, yeah. So, yeah.
And so his fucking mailbox got wrecked, Every one of the, his students from his grade school,
Fuck his shit up.
Yeah, when they found out he lived there, they wait till they get their license. They fuck his mailbox up, right? So he would go through lots of mailboxes, and then so he's like, I got this one of those like the green ones that are like right from the bottom and they're one piece. They go up to the top, all one big.
This is my brother has.
Yeah, well, that's what he and his neighbor had.
Oh shit! So I bet you the neighbor got fucked up too. Just in case, we're not sure whose is who.
Yeah, the neighbor actually took the worst of it. They said it. They realized they couldn't knock it over with a bat or whatever. They couldn't just. So they set it on fire. They set a bunch of the newspaper on fire in it.
I got a funny story. Back in the day, so we used to baseball bat them, right? Aluminum baseball bat. I get out of the truck, just like all a bunch of buddies crammed in the truck, and my buddy's up next. I hand him the bat, and I put my hand on the mailbox. Solid fucking steel. I'm like, perfect one for you, bud. You'll blast this one right off. Get out of the way. He fucking snapped the aluminum bat in half.
Really?
Oh, his hands were vibrating for an hour.
Concrete.
He was in so much pain.
Oh, that would hurt like hell.
Like, he didn't snap. He, kinked the fucking aluminum bat. I fucking laughed for an hour while he was in pain. Oh,
that's terrible.
Set him up for it, too.
Oh, yeah, I did. He was. I was a fucking asshole, I know.
My old house, my mailbox would turn a snowplow right around. I had that thing.
You solid, eh?
Oh, yeah.
The worst, I'll tell you, as a farmer, pulling implements and have shit on 3-point hitches, those are the worst, man. You clink a fucking mailbox. Like, there's times, man, where we're dodging vehicles quick. You got to make a quick decision. Is it the mailbox or is it the car?
Yeah, you take the mailbox.
You fucking, you get a metal mailbox, man. It's pulling you into the ditch.
Got a whole collection of them in your plow on the way home.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, everything's so big now, too, on the roads. I don't know how anyone gets anywhere.
I know.
Yeah.
Like, trying to get, man, I got the two worst places in town. I got to go by Old Lehman's Dam Side Road and up that hill.
Holy fuck, you go with your tractor up that hill?
With the 4-row fumigator and cultivator up the back. And then I got to go through Lindock with the gravel wall.
Really?
Oh, it's the worst.
You're going to feel like you're scraping against it the whole time.
Oh, man. One time Ryder was coming at me with his fucking implement, and I swear we clinked fucking, you could hear the clink of fucking S-tines because we're both hugging the road, and everybody in Lindock's got a mailbox on the fucking road. Like, back that shit up. Mine is almost to the point where it's falling backwards into the ditch because it's as far back as it physically can. But at my house, the ditch is 3 feet down. So
I can't believe they're still doing mailboxes, to be honest with you.
Me either.
Like, most places, they make you go get your mail at some sort of centralized box, Yeah. So I'm surprised they don't just put one at the end of every concession road, like a mailbox, and then say that's for the whole road. You go find your little box at the end.
I wouldn't want that because the concession mailbox would be at the end of my road, and I'd have to cut the grass around it.
Oh, yeah, and there'd be people all the time.
I got a big grass spot. I guarantee it would be there.
How long have we been going, Kevin?
Whoa.
How long have we been going?
Hour 8.
Hour 8?
Yep.
Oh, man. I'm falling asleep.
You got to announce the sponsors.
Oh, yes. Shit. Thank you, Beaver. Because the show got all messed up at the beginning, and I never announced our sponsors. So we would like to let you know this show is brought to you by our friends at Clean Flow.
Clean Flow. And guess what, Clean Flow? We all use your products, and we'll take anything you have to offer.
Yes, Beaver looked into on your website, KLEENFLO.com, cleanflow.com. And he was like, I use a lot of these products. And
all of them.
All of them. And then, and Kevin even says that he sees them at his work. And it's like, yeah, they're everywhere. Cleanflow's got great products. You want a brake cleaner?
I want a brake cleaner. I want some penetrating oil.
White grease.
White grease. I'll take it all.
See? We got a great sponsor in Clean Flow. And also, if you'd like to support our show, go to patreon.com/Dutch Hall. And you can support us just like our queen and get access to the Forbidden Hot Tub video until we're forced to take it down again. And what else? Who else is a sponsor? Go to livefromthedutchhall.com, click on our Amazon banner. We're really close to getting paid again.
Get a nice $10 bill from Bezos.
Oh no, I save it up till it's at least $100.
Oh, right on.
And then I get a $100 check, and then I fucking feel like a rich man.
Buy some candy.
Oh yeah, big time candies party next time.
Right on.
Yeah, when we have that check come in, I'm gonna give you some candy. That's a promise. What else? That's it. We got a couple dates coming up in July, but nothing too special. Oh, Crazy Canuck in Kitchener on July, whatever the Saturday is, the 9th. July 9th, I think, is at Crazy Canuck in Kitchener.
We have Farmers Invitational coming up.
Woo, really?
Yeah, we're doing it back. We're back on the horse.
At the Woodside?
We got to find a new venue. I don't know.
Oh, Woodside's?
No, it could be Woodside, but last time it was Pine Valley, right?
Yeah, I thought they threw you out, though.
Yeah, they threw us out. So, 29th.
Yeah.
We're doing a Wednesday this year.
Wednesday instead of Monday.
Bocce's made a good point.
What's that?
The Monday, that Monday, or the Monday's tough because it's Bass opener that weekend, and everybody's doing, family stuff. He's like, let's throw it in the middle of the week. I'm like, good call.
They're not, yeah.
The only reason why I did it Monday is because of the steak dinner.
Yeah.
At the Knights of Columbus.
Oh, right.
Well, we don't have, we create our own steak dinner.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, looking forward to it, Beaver. That's always one of my favorite times.
It is. We missed it for 2 years.
Has it been 2 years?
It's been 2 years, man. We COVIDed it out.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's about time we start getting back. I haven't been on a golf course at all this year. Have you, Kevin?
Not once.
Do you usually golf?
I used to. I haven't been in a couple years.
I did a simulator.
Play some weave golf.
Wii golf?
Yeah, but I do. I love it.
I love Wii golf, man. I got a bachelor in Wii golf in college.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Wii tennis.
I was good at Wii bowling.
I always did Wii golf and Wii tennis.
Or we did Wii tennis, too.
And Wii baseball, home run derby.
Wii boxing was okay, too.
Oh, yes. Wii boxing, I smashed my TV. It's because I punched it. Yeah, I can't think of anything else, guys.
No.
We did it. We found out Beaver's
No legs.
no legs. Yeah, we got the sponsors.
Hey, and you can flip them over quick
Oh.
with no legs.
Oh, yeah.
There's no resistance.
What are you talking about?
When the legs are spread, there's more of a maneuver. When no legs, it's like rolling a barrel.
I suppose it's like what bang. You can get those you see those they're like pocket pussies, but they're like let's like
That would be like that.
torso.
You're right. Yeah.
Yeah,
That would be like that.
except for it's got the rest of the top on,
Yeah.
the mouth and stuff.
Goes like this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but the real lady would have arms and like a beating heart. She'd be a real person,
Yeah, real person. I know. I got the.
but no legs.
I'm picturing in my head my wife if she had no legs or no arms.
She could have legs right below her knee.
What if it was just missing one limb? Would it be an arm or a leg?
Leg.
I might go arm then.
I'm thinking that girl in The Sopranos that had the missing leg.
I'll take you know what though? Back to the prosthetics. I'd go with a leg missing because you can throw a little fake one on there.
Yeah, you can. And one of those blades.
You could steal it from her.
Yeah, if she pisses you off, tell her to hop it out.
Yeah, if you
Hopping mad.
Yeah, if you were worried that she was gonna leave you, you just take her leg, and then she could only walk in a circle.
Yep.
And then
She could only swim in a circle.
And you can only hop so long before you get tired.
yeah, that's right. So it is more.
Unless she's got a scooter.
Yeah. Oh, this is getting too complicated.
Yep.
I'd probably just fuck the dude. The other dude. Well, that's it. That's a good ending for the show. Tell a friend if you like this. I feel really tired of this one, and if you'd like to, give us a piece of feedback at livefromthedutchhall@gmail.com, thedutchhall@gmail.com, Instagram, Twitter, or Dutch Hall or Live from the Dutch Hall. And until next week, we will see you NT.
See you
next
Tuesday.
or Thursday.
Or Thursday.